Well, hello everyone. Welcome back to Nerdrotic. My name is Gary Beekler and I come to you from nerdrotic.com, and I am live in San Diego, California, North County. And we are here to talk about Fake Trek. Yes, we made it to a third season. Is the third time the charm with this show? No. This episode is called That Hope Is You. And we all know hope is not a strategy. But guess what? The hope was Michael Burnham. Sorry, spoilers. And there will be spoilers. Not that anything really happened. To briefly recap, Season 2, there was an artificial intelligence that wasn't quite an artificial intelligence, but it knew it wanted to be an artificial intelligence. It ran into a giant planet. The Discovery ran into a giant planet that had a bunch of information that the artificial intelligence that didn't know it was an artificial intelligence needed that information. So it wanted to chase down the Discovery because in another random episode, there was a time anomaly where one of their probes went through time and came back. This almost artificial intelligence. It's kind of like an evil Pinocchio. Not to be mixed up with the artificial intelligence from Picard. This is a different artificial intelligence because it's not quite an artificial intelligence. Then Pike showed up and covered up his balls a lot because they were systematically sliced off throughout the entire season. And then Spock showed up with a learning disability. And then Michael Burnham, her mom built a time Iron Man suit, and we thought she was going to save everybody, but then Michael Burnham got the Iron Man suit and saved everybody. Problem is, when they went through time at the end of Series 2, they had already defeated the artificial intelligence that wasn't an artificial intelligence. So I don't know why they left. I still don't know why they left. I want there to be a scene where they go through the wormhole and leave, and somebody's like telling Spock, or somebody's like, do you want to tell Spock? I don't want to tell Spock that they didn't need to leave. That he did that, like in the middle of that giant battle with 10,000 shuttles and then a Stone Age culture was able to pilot some ships with some Klingons, and they had this huge battle against the artificial intelligence that wasn't quite an artificial intelligence that they neutralized before they left. And in the middle of that battle, Spock and Michael Burnham were able to sit on a platform and have a very emotional discussion. And she told him like to go find Kirk. So does somebody want to tell Spock that they didn't need to go? I could just see them going through the wormhole and somebody saying, that is the dumbest crew I have ever seen in my life. So here we are. They went through the wormhole. It was unnecessary, but they did need to get Star Trek out of canon. The problem is shooting him into the future 930 years is just going to make things worse. It just puts a expiration date on everything. And guess what? They already did that to the Federation. There was something called the burn. Now, that's something I have every time I see an episode of Star Trek Discovery, but it's a little personal, so I don't want to get into it. Welcome, everybody. So if you are new to the channel, back in the day, I used to do live reviews after TV shows. And one of the earliest ones was Star Trek Discovery. It used to be painful to watch. It's sad to see what happened to my beloved Star Trek and your beloved Star Trek. But this thing is deader than dead. So now I just laugh. And this one was funny. It was funny. There was a moment in this episode that I cheered. I roared and cheered. But then something else happened. So there's your recap of Season 2. If it didn't make sense to you, well, that's about as much sense as it made. See, what happened was about halfway through Season 2, same thing that happened to Season 1. About halfway through Season 2, they fired the showrunners, and they had to piece together a season, and all they really did was say their family once in a while. There was a lot of crying, and then a lot of very blurry spaceship battles. And there's no shortage of blurry spaceship battles here. So this one starts out with a guy waking up in his bed that dissolves, and the effects were terrible. And he digitally brushes his teeth every day, and he's in a Federation building. He's got a little Federation case, and he's waiting, kind of like the ambassador at the beginning of Battlestar Galactica, the guy who waits and never expects the Cylons to show up. Kind of like that guy. Then we don't see him until the end of the episode. Then we meet Shepard Book. I'm sorry, Cleveland Book. I'm going to say Shepard Book throughout this whole thing. They couldn't pick another name, really? You had to like rip off some Firefly? Yes, of course they did, because it's Alex Kurtzman. And I'm not aware. See, I'm not a gamer, or, I don't know if they ripped off a video game this season. I guess Andromeda is what they're ripping off this year. So this guy, by the way, the guy from the beginning was searching for a signal. Then we shoot to a giant space wedge. It's like a metal wedge, because the ship designs in this show are terrible. I feel bad for Ego Moss, because so it starts out with a space wedge being chased by a can opener, and the can opener is chasing the space wedge, and it's a bunch of blurry stuff and some fighting, and Book is in the ship. He stole some cargo from some guy, and the cargo belongs to itself, so you can tell it's a living being. And then he magically runs into Michael Burnham in the spacesuit. She flies right into the ship, and then she in her suit somehow damages the ship, and they both go crashing down to a planet that looks a lot like Iceland. And they land on planet Iceland in the year 3188. Michael Burnham was in a spacesuit, by the way, and she fell from space to a planet. She, a little backache, maybe a little side pain. She's fine. She had some impact shields. So this suit from before the original series, this time suit that had reverse thrusters and temporal, tachyon this and that, she can crash and survive. No problem. So she has this suit, and nobody copied the designs or kept them back then. They really were very trustful, got rid of them. And then, so she sends the suit away so she can send that last signal to Spock, because Spock is just waiting to hear from his foster sister that we never heard about before, but now she's like the reason he's a Vulcan. And that was the whole point of season 2, was just to muck around in the past, because these soulless creatives can't do anything on their own. And whoa, was this episode a perfect example of that. CW Star Trek. This is exactly what it is. It's CW Star Trek. There was a lot of feelings. There was a lot of feelings in this episode. So yeah, she sends her suit away through the wormhole to give Spock the signal. It wouldn't have been useful or anything, and she checked for life signs, so there's still life signs in the universe. So she thinks that she actually saved the universe, when actually it was Georgiou, and they neutralized everything, and it was needless. They didn't need to leave, but nobody tell them. Yeah. And then she runs into Book, who crashed a little ways away. And, he speaks English, and he gives her some exposition. Well, first he doesn't want to know her name. He's, oh, wait, I'm sorry. I'm getting ahead of myself. I got to follow my notes. So then we get the credits. And then we only have 19 producers this season. So there's only 19 producers. And this episode was written by Paradise and Kurtzman. So the space wedge, when it crashed, it was intact. It's got a cloaking device. And Michael Burnham thinks she's on Terra Elysium, but he says the planet is Hema. And they they run into each other. He says, I don't want to know you. And we get a little exposition. We find out that the Gorn destroyed 2 light years of subspace. And we find out the Federation is gone. After the burn, it happened 120 years before Book was born. He hasn't told her name. There's some big deal. He doesn't want to tell her name. He doesn't want to know her. And that's probably because of what he's going to do later. And Michael Burnham says, I need to trust somebody, and that's you, and you're going to help me. And he goes, okay. So he takes her on the ship, and he says he needs dilithium. And we find out the burn was caused by all the dilithium blowing up at once. So all the dilithium blew up at once somewhere, like 800 years in the future from Discovery, about 780 years from the future of Discovery, in the future of Discovery, and about 120 years in the past of wherever they are now, in the year 3188. So the burn happened. I don't know how all the dilithium blows up at once. It destabilized. That's what Michael Burnham thinks. I don't know. But there's still dilithium, but they get it in little bits and they have to barter for it. And we'll find out about this later. We get our first cuss word. We get shit. Book says slow as shit. So I guess people are going to talk the same way 930 years from now. People aren't even trying. He's got a big cat named Grudge. And he says he's space broke. So Book says, slow as shit. He says he's space broke and he's got a giant cat and his cargo is temperature sensitive. So it's obviously a living thing. And it's a stolen cargo. Book is a thief. We figured that out. And so they go to Requiem, which is going to be where they do their space bartering. And they're gonna trade in Michael Burnham's antiques, her tricorder, her phaser stuff, and to get him some dilithium, and then he'll take her to the communications array so she can try to contact the Discovery. She tried to contact the Discovery, couldn't find them, and they end up at Requiem. And Book screws her over because he's a man. That's what we do, and he turns her in. Because he was never going to do that, and he stole her equipment to barter it for himself so he can get some more dilithium and get out of there with his space cargo that he stole. The guy he stole space cargo from finds him, and they get into a fight. And, oh, by the way, in Requiem, the Andorians and the Orions are working together. It's the future, whatever. And when they catch Michael Burnham, they give her a drug. And this is, if Sonequa Martin Green acted this way like the rest of the series, it might help. It might actually help because she acted high for about 20 minutes. Wasn't necessarily funny, but it was better than before. And in all seriousness, in trying to defend this show, they saddling her with being semi-Vulcan, raised by Vulcan. So she's this like really serious stick up your butt. I mean, she's not likable in any way. So when she acts high, it's like, whoa, oh, there's the personality that we've been waiting 3 seasons to see, but it only lasts for a little while. So they gave her this drug to get a truth serum. And she says the obvious. She's all, well, I saved everyone. Everyone's alive because of me. I'm the most importantest thing. Yeah, believe me, we get it. We've been watching the series for 2 years. We got you. But she ends up with Book later, and all of a sudden people start shooting each other. So the Andorian and the Orion take her in, and Book got caught, and he's getting the shit beat out of him, and they look at each other, and she's mad at first, and then he winks, and then they're surrounded by like 6 or 7 guys with these like guns, or these, I don't know what the hell they're called, the phasers or something that's over their fists, and they beat the shit out of all of them. Oh, and I forgot to mention, God, I'm rusty at this. In the beginning, when Book met Michael Burnham right at the beginning, she beats the shit out of him. A guy who's like, I don't know how tall this dude is, but he's got at least 50 pounds on her. She just fucking wipes the floor with him. Star Trek Discovery. So they beat the crap out of everybody. Lots of shooting, lots of firing, and they have portable transporters. So they just got it right here, like a comm badge. They can transport whenever they want. Which is really convenient, and I'm guessing it's not going to be used when you could use it. There's probably a million times, because they forget to use the transporter in this show all the time. So they put a fix in. This transporter takes 30 seconds to recharge, and they're able to track them though. So all of a sudden, everybody's shooting each other, and like they kill a bunch of people. They just vaporize them, and they're fighting and they're shooting and they're going across Iceland. I'm sorry, planet Iceland or Hema or whatever it's called. And they follow them across the planet. There's some nice, beautiful scenery because Iceland is beautiful. And my wife has been there many times. And they finally, they get caught. Finally, they think they shake them. Oh, well, first, okay, they kill about 7 or 8 of them over some scenery here. Then they jump off a cliff and they transport into some water. Then they get out of the water. Michael Burnham's hurt. And then Book goes over the water and starts going, whatever he does, and his forehead starts glowing. And then this plant just comes up out of the water that will heal Michael Burnham. So there's a word called contrived. Yeah. I learned it from the Critical Drinker. No, I'm just kidding. Contrived storytelling. This is the very definition of contrived storytelling. You couldn't have thought of a better way for her to meet Book than for her to fly into his spaceship and they crash together. Maybe she could have just crashed on the planet and he would have been the first guy she met. That still would have been contrived. There's a million other ways you could think of other than let's just have them crash into each other in space. Let's find the most impossible way because we are Star Trek Discovery. It's almost like they're trying. It is. So back to the most recent contrived event. We have the plant coming out of the water and it heals her real nice. And then, of course, they get caught again by the Andorian and the Orion. And it turns out that they have a space worm. They have a space worm. And you're not supposed to look it in the eyes because once you look it in the eyes, it like tracks you, right? So Book tells her to close his eyes because they want the cargo. They say it's served fresh, so they're going to eat it. And then the space worm comes out and eats the Andorian, the Orion, and then the other 3 guys they're with bail out, and then it eats Michael Burnham, straight up swallows her. And I cheered. I was all, yes! Oh my God, yes! I'm loving this show. This is the best Star Trek I've seen in years. And then it spit her out. It was, and you know what? The space worms don't even want Michael Burnham. Oh my God. So after all that, we find out that Book is he's a space broke space hippie. He's from a race of people that I guess they're empaths or to animals or something, and they're natural hunters and poachers. But every once in a while, a hippie is born. So he was cast away from his family, and since the Federation has fallen, there is no Endangered Species Protection Act. I shit you not. I started laughing my ass off. And he saves animals. So the one guy Burnham runs into in space is a space hippie who's saving animals. He's so good. He's so good. We love Book. Oh my God, I'm so shipping Burnham and Book. I would check to see if it's trending on Twitter, but it won't be. What would we call it? Bookem? Yeah, we're going to ship Burnham and Book and call them Bookem? I'm sorry. I'm probably up too late. This shit might not even be funny, but it's fucking 1 a.m. So hello, Australia. Anybody else who's watching out there? Hi, Alex Kurtzman. You suck, dude. Nothing personal, but your writing sucks. It's so bad. Fucking. Oh, shit. It's really not that funny. I mean, we should be really angry. Like, Doomcock's going to be fucking pissed. I'm like at the point where I can't even get mad anymore. It's just dead and gone. And alls we got left is a Cal Arts cartoon and Book, the space hippie who can pray some healing plants. This guy's a stoner. If he can pray and get whatever plants get you high, you can find some mushrooms or whatever. I even said that he found a space hippie. So they find, I talk about contrived. Okay, after their big adventure, Book goes, oh yeah, I have this subspace thing where you can contact your ship. And she even says, you had it the whole time? He's all, yeah, but I had to wait until this point in the script to tell you. So she tries, she can't get a hold of the Discovery. And then he says, oh, I also know this place where you can go to maybe find your ship. It's a Federation relay station. So he knows all this shit. And we find the guy who was in the beginning of the episode. And he had been waiting, for one, he's not a commissioned officer. He's third generation. And he had been waiting in there for 40 years for somebody to walk through, for the hope that somebody would hang up the Federation flag, because he's not a commissioned officer, so he won't. So I guess we're supposed to feel emotional at this point that this guy believed in the Federation that he would know nothing about other than from his dad. And he stayed alone in a station for 40 years, not getting laid. I mean, nothing. Sitting at this office doing nothing. I mean, not playing like solitaire or something. He's just standing there doing this. We're supposed to believe this shit. And it's, I cringed. But it's all to set up this really emotional scene between Michael Burnham walking in. He's all, I've been waiting for somebody like you for 40 years. She's all, I'm here. And that hope is you. You're our hope. And then I said, hope is not a strategy, but we all know that. So she hangs the Federation flag, and then she commissions him as an officer. And everybody wept. It was so beautiful that this man who's stupid enough to wait 40 years instead of, I don't know, getting in a ship and trying to find somebody, I'll just wait. I'll just wait for shit to happen. But I mean, God, is there nothing that describes this generation of ours more? We're going to wait for something to happen, and something will just come along to save us. So, God, I mean, I can't imagine somebody like Seth MacFarlane watching this, right? Seth MacFarlane's watching this show, and he's just like, and he can't say anything publicly. He's Seth MacFarlane. He probably could, but he wouldn't. He's being professional. He doesn't want to talk shit. There might be somebody who works on Star Trek Discovery that's worked on Orville, so you want to be political and stuff, but he's probably at home going, fucking, what the fuck is this fucking shit? I know, Seth MacFarlane's a little more eloquent than I am, but there's no way that, like, Mark Zickery's watching this stuff, and he's probably pulling his hair out, The Expanse premieres December 16th, by the way. That trailer looked really damn good. So his name was Sahil, by the way. And they hang the flag, and they say hope is a powerful thing, and that's the end of the episode. So there's a lot of running around, some beautiful scenery. Again, planet Iceland looked pretty good as Iceland. And there was no Discovery, there was no Stamets, there was no Tilly, there's no Saru. It was just Michael Burnham. And you know what they're going to say. You know why they did the episode this way. Did they want to write a good episode, a historic episode of Star Trek? No, but they're going to call it a historic episode of Star Trek because it was, you get the truth from me, and not that it matters. If it was a good episode, I wouldn't care, and I don't really notice this stuff until the end when you're going, oh, they're going to say this was the first Star Trek episode without a white man in the lead. And it was. That's why they're getting ready to do that with Doctor Who. They're going to have the first penisless TARDIS in season 13 in 2022 when it comes out. Jodie Whittaker's last season. Yeah, that's their whole thing is we got to set up a situation so there's no penises on the TARDIS, so there's no white guys in an episode. I mean, we don't need to write a good episode because I wouldn't give a shit. And I still don't give a shit, but it's there, and you can tell that's what their motivation was. So, well done. So historic. All right, so let's get to you. This is the part where you're the co-host here. I'm looking at my thumbnail. I had a good choice of thumbnails. When Michael Burnham was getting high, she was making all, because she usually doesn't make a facial expression. At least Jodie Whittaker makes facial expressions. So I have a whole file of Jodie Whittaker facial expressions for my thumbnails. I've got thumbnails for the rest of the season just from this one scene. And I was like, there was 6 I could have picked from, but this one made me laugh the most. So All right, let's get to you, lovely audience. Oh my God, there's 1,500 of you watching at 1 o'clock in the morning. Are you people crazy? I love you. I love you. Sister Haro, thank you for the Australian $1.99. I knew this would be an Australian heavy episode. You guys are up. I'm very sorry that your government is totalitarian and not letting you go anywhere. I kind of know what it's like. I live in California. Sister Haro, thank you for the, and it says, coming soon. Yeah, a little late. Sister Haro, thank you for the $5 Gaza, where are you? I'm here. I had to watch the end and finish my notes. Orville Nation for $5. CBS All Ass subscription should include Dramamine for motion sickness of watching Discovery, lower budget, more shaky cameras. God was the shaky cam like turned up. And just pause. If you want to, people will go, the special effects were spectacular. No, they were shiny. Go pause at any moment during the special effects and you tell me if you could see anything through the motion blur. There is so much motion blur put on that. By the way, you know, like the Orville has like really clean, slick special effects that they try to make look vintage, right? They try to make it look like Star Trek The Next Generation, but more modern, and it works. And you know, they've got some really, dude, I saw some of the art for season 3 is unfucking believable. When Orville, I wish Seth would like release maybe a few episodes or something just to throw us a bone. But I don't know when that's going to happen, but man, when it comes out, holy shit, did it look good. They spent some money. Thank you, Orville Nation. Jaloja. Pod Racing Palpatine for £4.99. Hail Gary, hail chat, ugh Star Trek. Now Discworld. Could 2020 get any worse? Save us, Obi-Wan Nerdrotic. You're our only hope. I mean, I can't write television. I wish I could. There are some of us who YouTube who probably could. Like Doomcock could write. Critical Drinker is a writer. Mahler could probably write. Rags would write if he cared. But I don't think he cares. But it's in a loving way. We love Rags. There's a lot of author Stephen Walton writes. I just know what I think I have a pretty good gauge of what's good or not. And this is just so far from good. It's almost back again. It's almost at the point where, you know, it's kind of fun to roast. And my seething hate of it is gone because I'm moving well into apathy with this. Vulcans should call out Mikey Spock for cultural appropriation. Time Dog 68 for $5. They should. That would bring the Vulcan the logic extremists, though. I am extremely logical. Boiling Diet Coke for $10. Gary, please tell comics that Toxic Man Flu and I are okay. We are still swimming to Jamaica. I dropped the rum ham. Now we're eating jellyfish. I think I'm hallucinating, but I found a floating Yeti. You're not hallucinating. That's a real floating Yeti. I want you to swim to it and sing a Beatles song, and everything will be okay. Larry for $1.99. Thumbs up. You know, it's funny that you're tripping right now. I was listening to some Pink Floyd before this god-awful travesty came on. I was enjoying a little Astronomy Domini. I was watching it on YouTube. And I love Pink Floyd. Tribble the D 3351 for $5 The hall is rented. The orchestra engaged. It's now time to see if you can dance. I guess that's a big fat no. No, I don't dance. I mosh though. Totally sounds like Gene's Andromeda ripped off Scottish Nerd for £2. Now, I am not super familiar with Andromeda, but from everything I've heard, yes. Because these people don't have an original idea in their head. They just wanted a franchise. I've gone over this before. They just wanted a franchise. They got a franchise. They have no idea what to do with it. They have no idea how fandom works. And, it's a good thing they canceled Star Trek Las Vegas because I'm thinking our event would have been bigger and a lot more fun and cheaper. By the way, I'm still going. I just got to find, probably isn't, I'm guessing a lot of people aren't going to go now, but I'm going to go. And if we just, if there's going to be 20 of us walking around social distancing in Las Vegas, that's still better than being locked down. 200-watt studio for $2. The worm spit out Burnham. Racist. Well, obviously. And Dorians look 25% different. Everything does. Everything looks 25% different, but Orville Nation for $2, that would be a figment of your imagination or just outright lies. BB Meyer for 10 rons. It's not 1 o'clock in Europe. It's not. What is it in Europe? 9 hours ahead. 9 hours ahead. So it's like 8 in the morning. Is this a morning show? Am I your morning tea show in the UK? Well, hello. Hello. Rest in peace, Doctor Who. Norwegian Kryptonian for 55 Norwegian krona. Star Trek Discovery is a Star Trek show made by people who don't like Star Trek, for people who don't watch Star Trek. Shine on. Shine on, you crazy diamond. That's right. Fred W. Monzo for $4.99. Yes, I'm crazy. It's 4:12 a.m. here in the East Coast, and I can't get to sleep. Oh, man. Well, if you watch this episode, you might be able to, but then you'd have to pay. They're so dumb for putting this behind a paywall, for one. Like, it would have I hate to give them advice, but if the CW has an audience, this would probably have one. They'd probably get, 700,000 an episode, which is probably twice as much as what they get on the streaming service. You can't freaking tell me that they get more than 300,000 people watching an episode. Hell no. Critical Drinker can have a freaking mauler. And once in a while, I can get that in a week. Once in a while. I got a video kind of tracking for that right now. By the way, my next video, since I'm all wide awake after this, I'll probably work on it a little bit, will be about California. Star Trek Discovery will get a video, but it's going to be a season video, and the Picard video should be out Sunday. I'm going to take it to Star Trek. I'm going to do something. I have to try to do something because like Red Letter Media is just better than me. Critical Drinker is just better than me. I understand that. I'm okay with it. I'm okay with being in my little area. So what I'm going to do is just meticulously point out all the stupid shit. It's going to be long. Doomcock will probably rage after watching this episode. Glad I didn't watch it. Nicholas Horton, he will rage. I promise you. I think I know my friend pretty well, and I don't think he's going to be happy. But he might, be at the laughing point, too. There was some really dumb stuff. IK1906 for $5. I don't think it matters if you can write or not. At this point, I'm pretty sure a 5-year-old could script better than Star Trek Discovery and Star Trek than this nonsense. You are correct, sir. You are correct, sir. Just another red shirt for $3.99. Hail Gary had to hang out with the Aussies a bit. We love hanging out with the Aussies. The Aussies are fucking fun. Aussies know how to have a good time, man. Akanen 1876 for 20 BGNs. I don't even know what a BGN is. Hail Gary from Sofia. It's 11 a.m. here. Well, hello. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. And you are just beautiful, lovely people for staying up this late and listening to me bitch about Star Trek. I'll probably leave this on the channel. I don't give a shit at this point. It's such a crazy journey this has been. When I did my first Star Trek Discovery review, I had 300 subs. And now season 3 is around, and I'm approaching. See, the words are starting to fail me now. I'm approaching 300,000. This is nuts. This is surreal. But God, I'd love some good TV to talk about. Please, Seth, please. Just 2 episodes, dude. Just 2. That's all. I think you would just make millions of people happy. That's all you do. I know there's probably something contractual about it. I know it's not, you just can't make the machine move like that. I know you would if you could. but you can't. So, Eric K, thank you for being. According to Christy, you guys are crazy. What are you doing up this late? Thank you for being here. Desert Ascetic, thank you. Sander Hammerslag, welcome. And Rodney the Red Mage, g'day. How are you? Polar David, Izad. What's this? Okay. Andrew Grimm says, maybe this series pushes Doomcock to world domination. I'm thinking, yeah, because everybody wants him to go right to the button. I'm thinking, wait a minute. He's got the world domination thing to do. So maybe that happens. And I'm all for that. I think I'd still be the emperor of San Francisco, and I would just shut it down. I would just shut San Francisco down. Give it a good cleaning. Hire a good cleaning crew, and we'll start over. And the first thing to clear out is Jack Dorsey and Twitter. The Orville and the Expanse make up for Star Trek's fall, says Nihilist Shadow. That is true. That is true. So, Seth, if you're out there, people love you, man. I can't wait for the Orville. I can't either. I got nothing to say about this. Like, am I intrigued about part 2? No. Let me guess. Let me tell you how it's going to go down for this season. If I'm wrong, well, it wouldn't be the first time. Michael Burnham is going to save the Federation, and then they're going to go back in time. They're going to go back in time. Now, is everybody going to go back in time, or maybe Emperor Philippa Georgiou, who is going to go back to her Section 31 show that we're supposedly going to get, because Alex Kurtzman has Star Trek planned out to 2027. And tomorrow I'm going to make $1 million on YouTube. Yeah. I'm not even going to put out, well, I am putting out a video, but what's up, Cleveland Brown? How you doing, buddy? All right, so we're going to wrap this one. Oh, we got another super chat, and I'm going to wrap it. Usually these are short, folks. So runs with scissors for 10 New Zealand dollars. Had a meet up with a close friend of Royd Tolkien. Whoa, last night in a sushi restaurant in Wellington, New Zealand. Told her to get Royd to listen in on your podcast regarding bad reboots influence. Worth a shot. Oh, bless you. Oh, my New Zealand brothers in Middle Earth looking out for the greatest franchise, for the greatest, it's not even franchise, how dare I say that, for the greatest story ever told. The greatest story ever told. It needs to be protected. I think the Tolkien estate might be behind all the delays on that one, and bless them for it, because Bad Robot being involved, well, they're already involved. That's the deal. But thanks. The Babylon Bee wrote an article, funny article today. It was so good. Check my Twitter. It's good. Where Kurtzman Trek crashes, the Orville hugs the donkey. That's right, Bren Obi. And don't forget to hug the donkey. Don't forget to hug the donkey, especially if you're married. Darth Cerebus says, I'm a woman. I'm a woman. CW Star Trek. That's right. All right, everybody. These ones are usually short, so just to let you know. I'm not trying to bug out on you or anything, but I have to get some sleep. I have to get some sleep. Kids got to go back to school. So I will do this. I don't think I'm going to do it at 12:30 at night, though. So in the future, these will be done on Thursday morning, probably 10 or 11 a.m. from here on out. And then chances are nobody gives a shit about the show, not even to hate it anymore. So they're not going to tune in. I'm going to see how the views go on this one, but I'm guessing nobody's very interested. Like third time around is just like exasperation at this point. And you know what? They're going to notice when people are even past the hating part. They're going to notice their interests go down because they really made an effort. They being CBS and Alex Kurtzman made an effort to get some influencers on board. They sent out some little gifty packages, and then one of those influencers went on Reddit and tried to put fake rumors out to discredit a YouTuber that didn't happen. Actually, people recognize that the loser who went on Reddit to try to get fake rumors to hook a YouTuber was the loser, and his channel didn't do anything, and Doomcock's channel sailed past 200,000 subscribers. Fucking hail Doomcock, by the way. And to the channel who put up some fake rumors because you got a little gift basket from your little boys and girls at CBS. Sad. It's sad, really. Selling your integrity for like, so what did you get? Like some fake booze or something like that? I don't even know. I don't care. You know what? You want to win us over, Kurtzman? Quit. CBS, hire somebody competent. Get these soap opera boobs out of there and hire somebody who knows science fiction. If it's a woman, great. Awesome. You know what? There's a lot of women out there who can write some very good science fiction. Go find them. Bring them in. Have them take over this show because this ain't working. This sucks. So you're just going to get more of the same. And it'll just be a repeat of season 2. You'll tell us it's a success. You'll go to Parrot Analytics and they'll tell us it's a success. And then we'll all know it's not a success. Just look at your appearance at New York Comic Con or San Diego Comic Con or your Star Trek Day, where I was regularly beating you on YouTube like a drum. And I usually don't flex. It's something I usually don't do, but I whooped Wheaton's ass. And that was a good moment. So, to everyone out there, including Will Wheaton, have a good night. Please like, share, and subscribe. I will see you in the next video. The next live stream is Friday Night Tights with John F. Trent. Oh, and if you're into the Exozone and the paranormal, later today, in about something hours, I'll be on the Harvey Zone with Dictor Van Doomcock talking about some paranormal stuff on the Exozone. Till then, thank you to the mods, Eric K., According to Christie, Nihilus Shadow, Lori Wilson, Paul from Norway for 200 Norwegian krona. Az and Gary, my favorite shows these days are construction of Tesla gigafactories, Berlin, Austin, and SpaceX Starship. Super heavy testing in South Texas. P.S. Have fun. 2020 TV and films are effing S. They are. And that's some good YouTube. Elon's my boy. He does some great stuff. And there's things I can't talk about, but there's going to be some cool stuff coming. Cool stuff. So look forward to it. I haven't seen it yet. I've been gone for a couple of years, and I haven't seen what I saw, which I cannot talk about. I'll get in a lot of trouble. Have a good night, everybody, and I will see you in the next video.